Welcome to Glazed Over, a podcast for contemporary ceramic studios. We're your host, Jessica Cowan.
And Amy Williams. You're invited to join us in creative conversation about life in the arts as entertainment space.
Hey, Jess.
Hi, Amy.
How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you? You're fresh off the trip from the UK, right?
I am. Yep. I am still a little jet lagged, which just means that I am going to bed when I should be going to bed and not staying up too late watching TV. But we have fallen for like English TV while we were there. So we've been YouTubing a lot of these shows that we don't get to see anymore. But yeah, we're kind of in the beginning of summer here. So how's the studio been for you?
Crazy busy. We always have that little lag right at the end of the school year that makes the whole staff think that, oh my God, we're going out of business. And then suddenly business triples and everyone's like, oh my gosh, when did this happen? So we've been doing tons of summer camps, offsites, field trips, those sort of things, which are keeping me very busy.
Yes, I bet. I bet. Well, good. That kind of leads us into sort of the goal of today's episode, which is just to get to know you a little bit more. This is going to be a glazed over bonus episode, because you've been our co-host now. I mean, we're for quite some time, but we've never really formally introduced you to the masses. So why don't you tell us a little about a little bit about who you are and how you got here and all, and we'll just get into it.
Yeah, that's so funny because I feel like I know everybody and everybody knows me at this point, but this has been a highly requested episode about me. So we all know that I'm Jessica Cowan. I was born and raised primarily in between Mobile, Alabama and East Texas. I'm excited for our convention. We get to go back to the homeland there of the desert and the dry lands. Um, and, cutting to the chase of what matters here, I had my first job at Chick-fil-A when I was 16, became a manager there, got into yogurt shops for a little while where I got to be an operating partner and learn a lot of things about growing a business from the ground up and, doing the chain thing. Then I moved to Nashville where I met Teresa Johnson, started working for her with her canvas painting studios, ultimately somehow got tossed into the pottery world, fell in love with it, and now here we are.
Nice. I have a really important question.
Yeah.
What's your Chick-fil-A order?
Oh, my Chick-fil-A order definitely going to be the spicy chicken sandwich with Colby Jack cheese and waffle
Oh,
fries, side
okay.
of ranch.
Sauces, ranch, just ranch.
Yeah, I mean, I like a Chick-fil-A sauce if I'm having nuggets, but I mean, we're just going ranch if I'm spicy sandwich.
That's interesting. My sauce does not change for the meal that I'm getting. I like,
Really? What's your Chick-fil-A order?
well, it depends, but mostly I would say the tried and true is like a just nugget meal with Chick-fil-A sauce and Polynesian sauce because I like to combine them together. But I do like a spicy chicken with American cheese though, not Colby. I just love American cheese and it's so trashy,
Mm.
but I can't
I
help
mean,
it.
it's good stuff. Were you there for when Stacy tried her first Chick-fil-A? It was at the BI event. I think she's at my table, but she had never tried it before, and that was her very first
Oh.
Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't think she was very impressed, but you know.
Oh. It's hard to get catered Chick-fil-A and be impressed. I also think it's,
Facts.
if you weren't like born with Chick-fil-A, I think it's hard to like understand, you know, the
Yeah,
goodness.
the culture.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I mean, so you started there really young. Like, what did you learn at Chick-fil-A that you might like use now? I feel like that's a really
um
good first job.
yeah, it is a really good first job. I tell everybody that I enjoyed my time there. I learned a lot from the owners and operators that I worked under. I'm still friends and talk to yearly with some of the management from there who helped me grow, which is crazy because we're like, what, 17 years into, into my working career at this point or whatever. So I learned a lot about customer service and really hospitality, and I just fell in love with the culture of it all and being able to bring to people what they want, what they need, a good time, and sending them on their way and learning about just the details of how you can do that, maybe under the radar. And when you're from the South, hospitality is kind of in our blood, right? That's just something that we are born into. So getting a job where I could really kind of lean more into that and learn about customer service, process management. I did a lot of little things. I helped, was on the team that helped develop the drive-through outside play that you see. Actually fainted on day one of that because it was 100 degrees outside in August in deep South Alabama. So that's when they learned that we need water and shade out there if we're going to do this. But I mean, back then it was all about growing the processes, doing the best thing that we can for the customers. And we were really innovating because, I mean, the drive-through play thing is the perfect example. Nobody was doing that. But we realized that we were not able to push as many cars through as we wanted to. So one day they're like, hey, why don't you just take the headset outside, go walk to the cars, ask them what they want, relay it in, and we'll start going. And then anyone who goes to a Chick-fil-A today knows that that's pretty much the standard now. You roll up, somebody walks to your car, they start taking the order from you.
It's almost weird if they're not out there. Like I'm always like, oh, are they
Yeah.
they closed or something? Yeah, that's so interesting. I like the like problem solving of like, all right, well, because sometimes like the easiest answer is the right answer, and we kind of forget that when we're like stressed out at work and we need to create like a new system to, be more productive. And it's like sometimes just go to the car, you know?
Yeah, just go to the car. And I think that Chick-fil-A does a great job at empowering its team members to know the boundaries and then do whatever you can within that box to deliver the best service that you possibly can. It takes a lot of pressure off of the employees because you know that you've got a fail safe if you need
Yeah.
to give something out, rush something forward, whatever it is. I don't want to speak for owners and operators, these days, but back in the day, it would be like, oh, here's a free ice cream cone or a
No, they
coupon
don't
for
do
a
that
sandwich
anymore.
next time.
They do not do that anymore. I got
Yeah.
recently, I was like, they told me to pull off to the side, and like 30 minutes later, I'm still sitting there. I had to walk up to the window to be like, excuse me. And they're like, oh, we forgot. They flat out just told me, we forgot. And they were like, here you go.
Yeah.
I was fuming. I was so mad.
It's so funny because I do hear that there's some chatter about how Chick-fil-A is
Oh, it's not.
not what it used to be. But I think that speaks to the testament of when you have involved founders, owner operators, because it started with Truett, he passed it on to his son Dan, and then now it's being ran, by a larger company. And so you can see whatever it goes from having the heart and the vision to being more about the dollars and the cents. And it reflects very directly into the service that we're receiving, which is still better than a lot of the service that we get at a lot of places these days. But if you remember the old days, you remember that it used to be even a little bit better than that. Which is what I hope to do with my pottery shop. I'm trying to deliver a Michelin star experience for whatever reason,
Mhm.
but it's my favorite little project in the world.
Yeah, there you go. What about the yogurt shop? What kind of like leadership skills did you learn there? Because you said you stepped into like a growth kind of like co-owner position. Is that right?
Yeah, so I got to do the operating partner position, meaning that I did all the work. And there were a set of older gentlemen who did all the money and the mentoring of me. So actually, believe it or not, which we'll all believe now, the co-owner for me was also the brother of the guy who started and owns Hattie B's Hot Chicken in Nashville, Atlanta, etc. So I was working for the Bishop family for a long time, and those in food service know that they're kind of the royalty of the food service world. They're right up there, with Truett Cathy. They are all about the meat and three. They've had lots of different businesses. They've owned the Ruby Tuesday chain at one point. So these guys kind of got together during the height of the yogurt craze, or this like the most recent cycle of the yogurt craze that comes around, and said, hey, this is going to be a thing for a little while. We want to open up, a chain of 5 or 6 of these along the Gulf Coast, see what happens. They started with one, the flagship store, McGregor Avenue in Mobile. Then they met me. I was fresh looking for something new. I was in college at the time. I was still working at Chick-fil-A, but I was thinking about maybe I want to go off on my own and just do entrepreneurship. I'm really interested in business operations and process development. I had the opportunity to work at multiple Chick-fil-A's so that I could learn from different operators. And at the time, I was very hungry to get more of that sort of mentorship. So when I met Gene Bishop and he's like, hey, I don't have the time or energy to open these yogurt shops, but you're young and look like you're into it. Do you want to? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. I got to learn all about the branding and making consistency from store to store. This was something I was used to at Chick-fil-A because it had already been handed down, but here we're creating those processes. I'm writing the handbook with very limited technology at the time, you know. I mean, we didn't have AI, we didn't have Canva. It's it's you got to know what you're doing, you know, get on the Microsoft Word, the publisher, etc. So, I mean, we're doing all of it, the build outs. I'm managing more things than I've ever managed before, more people, the construction processes, maintenance. You know, I'm just once a week having a meeting where they're going through my emails, helping me get the language better for talking to people, helping me just be a better leader. And then at a certain point, it kind of came to, hey, some of the partners are done with this. The trend is fading. The option is you buy us out and become the full partner, or we help you find another job. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm 20 something at the time. I don't think that this is the thing that I want to do for the rest of my life. So they sent me to Nashville to start growing the Hattie B's chain. I did work there for a little while, but when I got up there, you know, even though it's the same family and I love all these people to death, you either vibe or you don't together. And this was a different
Mm.
vibe than I was really used to. I'm used to like family dinners and being with everybody, and now it's just not quite the same. And so I'm thinking maybe I can do something else where I can be more impactful, where there's somebody who wants me to have that impact and do the work and give me some of the reins for that. And so when I met Teresa, we had a couple of phone calls back in the day, and then one in-person interview, and she's like, you're the perfect person for this job. You want to create processes? I want somebody to create processes. You want to build a business? I want somebody to build a business. And then the more that we started working together, though, the more that she, I think, realized that I like to do multiple things and I can be of two brains. So we can do a franchise concept, but I can also help her run her independent business the way she wants it ran. And so then I was able to really learn from her the logistics and the ins and outs of the legal side of business, HR, actually getting the LLC together, your EIN, like all the stuff that you need to be a business, which was really beneficial. She's also an amazing problem solver, so you can bring her any problem and she'll help you look at it from all directions, help you get that higher perspective. I remember very specifically one day we were in the back room, and anyone who's known me for a long time knows that I'm an anxious person and I used to be pretty neurotic. So I'm in the back room in the party room and I'm mad about something that really doesn't matter. And she's like, yes, this is important, but also you need a new perspective. Like, step away from this, step up about 2,000 feet. Does this really matter in the larger perspective? And that has helped me a lot to calm myself down of when people are not following along to my timetable, doing the things that I want exactly the way I want them done. And to look at myself and say, am I doing what I need to do to give them the tools to do those things? Am I just mad, or have I actually set them up for success?
Absolutely. It's so hard to like have that perspective, one, when you're in your 20s, but two, when you're so close to it, when you're like hands are touching
Yeah.
everything. Like it's so hard. I had someone tell me once, like in a similar scenario, when you point a finger, like, you know, four more or whatever pointing right back at you. And it's true because it's like I didn't do what I needed to do in this situation, but it's really easy for me to gloss over my issues and just be mad at the
Mm.
person who didn't read my mind or didn't have the right systems because I didn't tell them, you know, all that stuff. So it's like, it's those little bits of advice that show up, you know, 10 years down the line for us, which is really special.
Yeah, it really does. And what I learned from all of my other bosses was how to be a great manager of things and people. But Teresa really taught me how to not just lead people, but myself, how to figure out how I'm going to pull myself forward, because leadership is a lonely sport. At the end of the day, it's just you making all of the rules, the projects, what driving yourself forward. And if you don't know how to do it, don't know how to look back and help yourself grow, you're going to find yourself in a place where you can't help anybody else either. And that all becomes the snowball downhill to the detriment of your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want to be Teresa when I grow up.
Yeah, me too.
Like, down to the boats, I think. I think that would like a really specific thing. I'd like to have a few boats. Um, yeah, so how long did you work for Teresa, or how long were you in Nashville?
Yeah, I worked for Teresa for 5 years. I started at, she had one canvas painting location in Murfreesboro that I started with. We did a renovation, the whole remodel. That was my first big project. Then we opened up the store in Nashville, from the ground up. Like we were there on the day that they put the shovel in the ground to build the building. So that was really fun. I've built 7 businesses or been a part of the team that's built 7 businesses in the course of my career. And it's always fun doing it from the very bottom, even though it comes with its own set of challenges. But getting to say this is where the wall is going to go and this is how wide it is and measuring it against your cart, and all that stuff. It's like real life Sims. And then we had to move our location in Murfreesboro, so we built out another location. So we did a remodel and 2 full build outs while I was there with her for her canvas painting shops. And then at the time, she had 3 paint your own pottery locations, 2 in Murfreesboro, 1 in Chattanooga. So Chattanooga was not really getting the love and attention that it needed just by virtue of being 2 hours away from everybody else. So when I started working there, it was initially an intermediate thing. It was just going to be interim until we could find another manager. But I kind of was like, oh, I think we could fix some things really quickly here, and I can manage all these things at once. It's fine. And then I didn't want to give it up. And so eventually she's like, okay, do you just want to buy this thing? So 5 years in, we had decided that was going to be, or maybe like 4 years in, we decided that was going to be the goal, which would happen about 5 years in. March 1, 2020 was always the
Mm.
that was always the bullseye for us, and that worked out perfectly. We did. I signed the paperwork March 1, 2020. Her and I both, I don't think either of us would have gone through with it had we known that there was a pandemic right on the other side of it. For a long time, I planned to keep my full-time job working for her and also do this because I had been doing both things for a long time. But the pandemic really shifted things around. Like I did stay on for another 6 months with her managing the 2 canvas painting shops, but I mean, I have a whole business now that is actively failing. I mean, we're going from that very first month, we made less than $3,000 in the entire month, in a downtown location of a metro area. My rent is more than that. So
Oh,
it was
God.
a scary time. It was a scary time in the world for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that is like I just got like full body like tense thinking about all of that. I mean, thank God I was laid off before 2020, a few months before, and I'm every day I'm like, oh, thank God. Because it was you learn a different skill set, and I'm glad that I got to learn that skill set for my own business and not I don't think I'd still be in PYOP if I had to work in the studios during 2020 and all of that craziness.
Mhm.
It's just, oh, I just big ups to everybody that survived the pandemic with their PYOPs or any customer service job because it was just such a terrible, scary time.
Yeah, I mean, it was really tough. And as an industry, we had to pivot. I mean, most people were not doing to go as a part of their business model. A reason, we don't want you to do to go. We want you to come here. So everyone having to make that shift and suddenly figure it out while also being at a shortage for paint pots and brushes and
Oh.
everything gosh, that was a hard time. But we all got through it and then we all learned something, I'm assuming. Either you learn that you don't want to do this anymore, or you grew through it and you've got a, new fire in life for it. So I know a lot of people that went one way or the other in their own careers, a lot of people are like, it's just time for a change after such a big event like that. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. So what's on the docket for, the rest of this year and maybe next year for your studio? What are you excited about? What are you hoping to implement? Any secrets you want to share?
it's not a huge secret, but it's somewhat of a new thing that we have our own AI now. Her name is Daisy, and she answers questions in the studio. She's really a support agent for the employee. She knows a lot of things. She can answer a lot of questions about random scenarios, give you customer answers about, oh, this piece was broken. The
Mhm.
people are coming late for their party. Like, what do I do in these scenarios? But also things like, where are the extra paper towels? We can
Right.
find those for you as well. And then we've launched a whole back-end internal site that supports both our training as well as the day-to-day. So we have our own staff chat in there and, our schedule, employee requests, notable upcoming dates and whatnot. So that's happening. Right now we're doing a pottery postcard program, which is a pilot community art project where it's a make and take. So you paint a dish, you leave a dish, you get to take one that was already made. It comes with a little story that the person who painted it wrote, and then you can upload it to our website once you get it home to tag it in its new location. So if that works, then I'm hoping to develop something more quarterly that can just cycle through. But this is the pilot part of that. So we'll see how that goes. We are releasing story time in the fall. I know a lot of people are talking about story time right now. That seems to be a new, we've done it before, but it seems to be like revived in the world. So we're launching story time for the toddlers. I am looking to partner with maybe some local bookstores to do a book club for teens and tweens where they can get the book at the beginning of the month, read it, meet up at my store to paint a matching thing and talk about the book. And then they get the book and the figurine at the end. Because what we are hearing from the teen crowd is that they want things to do together where they can intellectualize at the end of the day. So what we're doing is really good for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to have had something like that when I was that age. That would have just been like, I think it would have changed me as a person, and that's cool that you can provide like a space for that.
Yeah, I think that's what our studios do. And most people, it's shifting the perspective because a lot of our customers see us as art studios, which we are, but we're also one of the last third places that really exist where you can get together and talk, chat. I know in my store you can BYOB, snacks, etc. So the barrier to entry is low. I've got pieces as low as $3, but most people are spending 32, 45, but if you are in that crowd and you need a $3 project, I've got a letter that you can put your name on.
There you go, right?
And you guys can get together and talk. So I know that some of the conversation around third spaces is having to buy your way in, but that's America for you. Like we have to support the overhead. We do offer little free things here and there as an opportunity to get people together. I'm always happy to offer like a networking event with our local networking groups, things like that to host. But at the end of the day, we all gotta pay our bills too.
Nice. Well, I think this was like a really fun way to get to know you a little bit better. I don't think anyone's questioning why you're here with me, but in case they are, I think
Yeah, right.
all their questions answered. And I really look forward to the rest of the year with you and seeing what your studio does.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. All right. Well, how about we end it? How about I let you end it? You can end the episode, Jess.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you had a good time getting to know me a little bit better today. You can meet up with me anytime at convention to chat with me if you're attending my class. That will be very fun. I did let Amy in on some secrets about that, but I won't be letting anyone else in on the secrets right now. So, um, y'all stay safe and we'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.
Glazed Over is brought to you by the CCSA, the Contemporary Ceramic Studios Association. Thank you to our moderators, Amy Williams and Jessica Cowan. Editing by Scott Lester. Executive production by Vicki DeWert. Learn more at ccsaonline.com.